Hello friends, this is Sue Schoning from the Soul Lighthouse. I am with you with our fast flash forecast of what you can expect as we go through November 2017. Every month we get together and we have a look at the energy of the month ahead, and November's message for us is quite simple. Things change. Just like the seasons, things change, people change, situations change. Nothing stays the same forever. It's a very interesting energy that we have this month because on the outside it resonates with a 3 energy. But when we start to look a little bit closer, we realize that November also holds the energy of a master number, the master number 11. We add that 11 with the energy of 2017. 11 plus 1 gives us a 12. The 1 plus 2 gives us a 3. And so as we are moving through the month ahead, we need to be cognizant both of the 11 and of the 1. Now, the 11 is a master number, and it represents that bridge between where I stand now and the absolute potential that I am capable of the consciousness that I am in now and the absolute potential of my higher consciousness. It's the principle of my inner guidance and divine guidance, and it is an exceptionally powerful master number that is going to be accompanying us as we walk through the month ahead. And we couple that with the energy of the 3. The energy of the 3 is the guardian of innocence. It's the divine child. And so we look at this energy and we recognize that November is all about the merging of the principle of sacredness, potential, masculine, sacred masculine, merging with the principle of divine feminine. And the result is this divine child. And if you have ever looked at a newborn baby, if you've ever looked at a little toddler, and you can see the potential, the absolute potential that this little mite holds within. It is not there yet, but it has the power to grow and evolve and to become. And this is the energy that November holds in store for us. It's an invitation to change. It's an invitation for us to grow. It's an invitation for us to evolve. And it is asking us to look at how we are so set in our ways or bound by our perspectives and where we are stuck in our thinking. So many of us are in a space where we are bound by our program, bound by our blueprint. And this month's energy is asking us to step beyond that boundary and to step and look at things from a different perspective. And in order for us to do that, we need to be able to step back. When you change the way you look at something, it's very true that the things we look at change. In order for us to be able to do that, we need to step back, get some distance, and get some perspective. We need to look at our journey. Each one of us has been on a unique journey from when we were born to where we are now that has set our blueprint in place. The experiences, the circumstances, the people and situations of our lives have set in place how we understand life to work. The choices and the decisions that we make, the beliefs that we hold, the resulting actions that we step into are all a result of our programming of the journey that we have walked. And so in order to change and to challenge our perspective, we need to be able to look at the journey of our divine child. Now, some of us, of course, had the most magical childhood. Some of us perhaps not so lucky. And this is not to go into the trauma and into the pain, but it is an invitation to look at what is unresolved. What keeps rearing its head in decisions or choices or actions that you make now? What about my 5-year-old self keeps repeating in my 50-year-old self? And there are certain child archetypes And the one is the divine child, that which holds the absolute potential. But another of the child archetypes is the wounded child. The child who has been so wounded by his or her experience that at 50 or 60 or 70 that is still operating from decisions and choices and beliefs that were set in place through the wounding that happened maybe at the age of 5 or 6. Another child archetype is the orphan child, the rejected, the abandoned child. The invisible child, the child who felt that wasn't there, children are seen and not heard, that the child didn't matter, wasn't part of, wasn't included. And each one of these archetypes gives us a coping or an understanding or choices or decisions or a belief system. November is asking us to look at that belief system and say, is it appropriate to hold that belief or continue to do that action? It might have been appropriate when I was 5. Perhaps it's not appropriate at the age of 35. Thank goodness not all of us have a hard childhood. Some of us had a magical childhood, and this is another of the archetypes when we look at the child, the magical child, the child who is able to step into fantasy and dreaming, the child who is able to see things from a different perspective. November gives this child archetype the permission to come out and play and look at the world through magical eyes again. Another of the child archetypes is the nature child. And again, this is an invitation to come into a space where we look at the seasons of our journey and we recognize the evolving seasons of our own life journey. To get back in touch with nature, to get back in touch with the seasons. And of course then there is the essential Peter Pan archetype, the never grow up energy. We are being asked to look at what child archetype runs our adult lives and to look at things maybe from a different perspective, to heal, to resolve that which needs to be put down, and to step into a space of healing so that we can recognize the seasons of the nature child. We can step into the magic and the fantasy of the magical child. We can play like the Peter Pan. The good energy that you can expect as we go through November, it's creative, it's enthusiastic, it's generous, it's life-affirming, and it's playful, and it's very, very optimistic. The positive side of this energy is that it looks for the good in people and it looks for the good in situations. It's a glass half full kind of energy. It's the one that says there's no such thing as bad weather, it's just a bad choice of clothes. It grabs opportunities and it looks for situations. If we can't do it this way, we'll find another way. It's always focusing on the dreams, on the goals, on the aspirations. It's that magical energy in action. It's sharing, it's generous, it gives so freely, and it has a very strong relationship with dependence and responsibility. So it takes the chances, but it's not a risk taker. It looks at new relationships with life, new starts, new beginnings, and it is always keen to learn, to grow, to develop and change. This is the very powerful energy that November holds for us. Of course, there's a flip side of the coin, and on the negative side, it can also be very irresponsible, not dependable, not accountable. This energy, when it's in its not such a powerful state, it procrastinates, it doesn't follow through, or it starts and it puts it down. It's fickle, it's flaky. It might start something and lose interest completely and start something else. So it is not an energy that follows through. So we are asked to be very, very disciplined as we go through this month. Don't jump and chop and change from one thing to another. Start something, and with discipline and forethought and consciousness, follow it through. This is an energy that says, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it later. Procrastination is a skill with this energy in its not so positive form. It can slip so easily into, I'm the victim here, save me, look after me, I'm the wounded one. And again, if you have had a not so good childhood and you resonate with the wounded or the invisible or the abandoned child, this is not an invitation to go into your victim energy. This is an invitation to say, what do I need to do to heal that inner child within me so that I can nurture and protect that inner child within me? The not so positive side of this energy is that if unresolved, it can withdraw into wounded, sad, lonely, withdrawn, because those past unresolved issues are going to push and push and push, especially in a month like this, until we start facing them. And so recognize that inadequacy or low worth or low value, if you step into that space, it is an invitation to challenge it, to change it, to resolve it. In its not so positive form, we're unable to connect. We feel disconnected and we're unable to hear our own inner voice and our own inner wisdom. And so be very aware of the positive aspects that this month holds in store for us, but be very conscious and very self-nurturing and very self-disciplined as you go through this month, so that you stop yourself from slipping into irresponsible, not dependable, not accountable. The energy this month invites us to step into our highest sense of awareness, to see things from a different perspective, to reach up, to touch the hands of divine connection. And so you can expect moments of deep clarity, deep connection as we go in through this month, interspersed with feeling that you absolutely know what to do next. You have this inner sense of awareness. You have this sense that you're being guided, and there is a knowingness of what needs to happen next. Interspersed with sudden moments of luck, fortuitous events, and good things happening. So it is a very strong energy here that says connect. Connect within, connect with what you believe in, connect with the divine, and expect divine guidance as you go through this month. In short, we are being asked two things. What am I creating with my life? And what do I need to change in order to create consciously? As you go through this month, allow yourself time to be able to connect with your inner voice. And whether you do that through meditation, whether you do that through conscious awareness, whether you do that through walks out in nature, whether you do that through art or through music, but find that time so that you are able to connect with your inner voice. Connect with your spiritual self and connect with the universe as you understand it to be, and expect to receive divine guidance. This month is the principle of ask and you shall receive. So make sure that you ask for the divine guidance. Expect moments of intense creative and awareness, and as I say, deep understanding of what the next step needs to be. Step up. This month, more than any other month that we've had recently, step up, step into action today. Take the risk, put yourself out there, allow yourself to be seen and to be heard. In the words of that very famous sports company, just do it. Just do it. Take the risk, because you and I both know that if we have the impulse and we have the urge, and then we start to analyze it and overanalyze it and reanalyze it, we are going to get stuck in boundaries of our own making. Remember, step into a different perspective, step into a different way of dealing with things. Step up, step out, and just do it. This is a month essentially of divine play. Invite that magical child, that nature child, that divine child within you to come out to play. Allow yourself to restore your energies by connecting with that which is around you, the spirituality around you. Be in a space where you are aware everything changes. People change, situations change. Nothing stays the same forever. How can I harness this change? How and what am I creating as I move forward in November? So it's a very, very powerful, very positive message that we have as we go through this month. After the last couple of months, it is a breath of fresh air. October was an exceptionally hard month for very many people. November comes with a kiss of positivity, with an invitation to play and an invitation to change. Let's harness it and let's make November the most incredibly empowered month. Wish you a powerful month ahead. If you need to get hold of me, email is always the best way. I'd love to hear how these energy reports resonate with you. Lots of love. Thanks for listening, and I'll be back with you soon. Bye for now.